I'm going to review Sea-Bands for morning sickness. If you've looked online for information for Sea-Bands, there is a host of differing opinions, many claiming that it worked wonders for them and it instantly cured their morning sickness, and others saying it didn't do anything for them. For my last pregnancy, I really wanted to get Sea-Bands, but then just decided to suffer through it and maybe they wouldn't work anyway. This time I decided, hey, they might work. Even if it's in my head, I'm just gonna try it. So my husband brought them home. We had some close by and I stuck them on and didn't notice any relief at all for my nausea symptoms. So that's kind of disappointing, but I decided, you know what? Maybe the relief will come later. Maybe I can, it's all in your head. Maybe I can notice something later. Which didn't happen, but I did notice that soon, within a few minutes, actually, I'm wearing this right now so I can show you, but I actually don't need it right now. I'm actually 26 weeks along. But just a couple of minutes after wearing it, I found myself like cleaning up my bedroom, picking up some things. Not big things, but I felt like I could do more. And then I found myself in my kitchen just doing a little bit more. That was kind of a surprise. I didn't quite understand that. And in the way my brain works, I was trying to figure out what was happening, why it might work that way. And I came to the conclusion that it kind of feels like when I'm wearing these, even right now, it kind of feels like someone's taking me by the wrist, gently pulling me along. Hey, you can do this. Like maybe you feel sick or whatever, but you can do this. So gently pulling me along. So that was something I noticed. And so I actually, I started wearing them. The second thing I noticed, and it wasn't as obvious, but it became clear, was that as I wore these, that feeling of, oh, I'm about to throw up, was gone. I still had times where I thought, am I gonna throw up? But that just about to throw up, that feeling building up in your stomach as you're about to throw up, that stopped. I stopped having that. And I was still mindful of doing things, avoiding situations where it would invoke that. But I literally stopped having that experience of, oh, where's, toilet or something, I'm about to throw up. Stopped having that completely. Even though I still felt just as sick, with maybe a little bit of motivation to do things I didn't feel like I could because I was so sick. So with these bands, I began to wear them faithfully, and I wore them faithfully until the sickness was, mostly okay. And in that entire time, throughout those weeks, I got these early on. Throughout those weeks, I only threw up twice through the worst of weeks, and both times were when I was not wearing these bands, and it was so frustrating because one time I had washed the dishes and hadn't managed to put them back on, and then the other time, just putting a toothbrush in my mouth and suddenly like, oh, where's the toilet? It was so frustrating. So like, because I'd experienced how much these bands had, how consistently I had not felt that sudden, I'm gonna throw up. And, the second time I just put my toothbrush in my mouth and that was it. And so that time was because I had showered and hadn't put the bands back on. So my overall review, you can go ahead and try it. I wore these faithfully. For me, it was totally worth it. It didn't really touch my nausea at all, but I didn't throw up. I don't know what your results could be. But maybe it's worth a shot. Maybe you'll have different results. Maybe you'll have better, maybe you won't have any, but hey, maybe you're willing to try it. Just a little quick look at these. They're just, when you first get them, you're like, how are those gonna fit on my wrists? But it's this nice, comfortable elastic band. They say you can shower with these on. I don't like the feeling of just wet cloth on my wrists. Not a fan. So I didn't do that. But, well, I don't even know if the company says that, but I've known of people who have showered with these on. There's this little knob at the back that you want to make sure you follow the instructions and place 2 fingers down from your wrist on a very specific point. The directions are very good at explaining where to put them. And then this will just push on supposedly a pressure point. So these did something for me. Maybe they'll do something for you. I can't say. This is not sponsored. Maybe for a good reason. I don't know. Maybe it did help you make that choice. Yeah, so that's my review of Sea-Bands. And I will give another thought, if you're willing, to take the time to find some Sea-Bands in the color that you will be happier to wear, because you're going to be wearing them, if they're successful for you, all the time. So I didn't really want a light pink. I actually like the black because I already wear black, even though I do like pink. But if they had a bold fuchsia pink, oh, that would have been mine. But they didn't, so I took black. They do have, I'm not even sure what it's called. Look it up. It's like a TENS machine version where it sends pulses into that part of your wrist. You don't have to wear 2 walking around looking like, hey everyone, guess what? I'm dealing with morning sickness, okay? That's what these bands are for. It's really obvious if you've ever seen them before. But there are bands, I don't even know what they're called. You can look them up on Amazon or whatever website you might purchase goods from that have a broad variety. And just looking up, you can look up Sea-Bands and it will probably pop up. And it's just a wristband that's kind of like a TENS machine that sends pulses into that area. And you can adjust it, the frequency, so it's comfortable for you and so that you might actually have results. So I was tempted to get that. I didn't. And I'm past the sickest part, so I'm good now. But that sounded tempting. And I did notice that there were a lot more people who commented on the fact that it was more successful for them. They actually had more success with that. There were many people who even talked, I looked at so many reviews. There were many who talked about how the Sea-Bands didn't help them at all, but the TENS machine version, just with the pulses, how that helped them. And for some of them, they had to go to a pretty high pulse, and for others it worked very well at a lower pulse, so who knows. I've also seen of people who just take these bands, the Sea-Bands, and if they were feeling more sick, they would just push on the button on their wrists to help give them relief. I didn't notice much of a difference when I did that, but it kind of psychologically helped me feel better to try to do something. So that was good. Anyway, if you're willing, go ahead and give these a try. And that's my personal experience with Sea-Bands, and I, for one, appreciate them and how they helped me to not throw up as often. If you like this video, I'd love it if you'd stick around. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.